Previously on Gojira 2012's Toy Reviews.
Now let's open this box up and see what I got. No, let's be reasonable! Oh god, another one. Another Bandai Japan vinyl Godzilla figure. Can I ever catch a break? Is that at all possible? Because at this point it just seems very unlikely. So for those of you who don't already know, this is the 2016 Bandai Shin Godzilla. And it is based off of the 2016 Japanese film version of the same name. That same exact film is going to be playing in American theaters here at the beginning of October. Sheesh, you'd think with all this news and information, Funimation would be like backing me right now, but they're not, unfortunately. I'm always available, Funimation. But back on track. This figure was released a couple of months ago, and I just recently got it in the mail, maybe 2 weeks after it was released, because, you know, customs and shipping and whatnot from Japan. But yeah, that's when I got this figure. Obviously, you all saw what happened when I unboxed it. This thing got a little extra violent, more violent than it needed to. And obviously, if in case you didn't know, I'm being held hostage. But don't tell anyone, please. Please, for the love of God, don't tell anyone, because he's gonna hurt. I didn't say anything, okay? But anyway, his ransom was for me to review him, so that's kind of what I'm doing right now, okay? Alright, okay. So anyway, this is in fact the 2016 Godzilla figure. This is probably the only Shin Godzilla figure that's worth getting. I mean, the Bam Presto one, don't get me wrong, it looks really good, but come on. That thing's really expensive and it doesn't really move. There's not a lot of articulation to it. That's what I'm kind of into. I'm kind of into articulation. It doesn't have to be a lot, but at least give me something to work with. But if you're into that, like say X Plus and stuff, then you know, more power to you. Same with the Monster Arts. That figure is going to be $120 something, and that's insane. But you know, if you're into those kind of figures and you want to, you know, throw out all your money towards it, then more power to you. I couldn't do something like that, but I'm glad to know that you could. So let's start off this review by diving into articulation. As you can see, both the legs can move 360, as well as these arms that might as well be my arms. Because look at how skinny they are. Good lord, and they're so small. Well, actually, I have skinny arms, but they're pretty long. And the tail doesn't move, so that's about it. 4 points of articulation. Not much, but at least it gives me something to work with. Another thing that I actually look at, since I mentioned scrawny arms, is the detail. As you can see, the detail's okay on this figure. Bandai Japan's kind of stepped down as far as their like detail game goes. As well as paint job. As you can see, the paint job is very lazy. If you've seen this Godzilla, any like promotional pictures of him, then you would know right off the bat that he is 50% red and 50% black, or charcoal gray. And this is 95% black and 5% red. Oh yeah, and there's a little bit of yellow here and white there, and who thought it was a good idea to give him GMK eyes? Were they... There's literally, if you could see, I don't think you can see in the camera, but there's literally a little detail spot where the eyes are supposed to be colored in black. Very lazy, Bandai. Very lazy. How? Why? So yeah, as you can tell by my reaction, I feel the paint job is lazy, but at the same time, you gotta understand, it is a toy made for children. So I guess it has some kind of excuse as to why they didn't put their all into it. I mean, hell, they didn't even put their all into the 2014 Godzilla that they released a few years back. and the detail could be a little bit better, but I'm not going to complain because it looks alright for what it is. Now I'm sure a lot of you have noticed that the tail on this guy is ginormous. Well, there's a scene in the movie where... Wait, I can't talk about that yet? Well, surely I can talk about the scene where Godzilla pulls out his... Really? I can't even talk about that either? Oh, what the... Oh yeah, that's right, now YouTube is censoring me? So much for freedom of speech. Good job, YouTube. You're the real MVP. You're the real MVP, man. Now let's move on to size comparisons because, you know, size comparisons are exactly what they are. Size comparisons. Not very funny. First off, why don't we compare them with a figure I just mentioned earlier, the Bandai Japan 2014 Godzilla. Now, as you can see, this figure towers over this Godzilla, just like they would normally, because this Godzilla is only 100 meters. This one is 112, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. So this Godzilla slightly towers this one. So if you were to pull out the Bandai America 2014 Godzilla, I'm sure it'd be more in like size with this. But I'd say this is fairly accurate. Here he is next to the original Godzilla from 1954. And as you can see, Shin Godzilla and the 54 Godzilla would not be anywhere close in height. But it's really cool to see how far we've come as far as Godzilla goes from the year 1954 to the year 2016. Very interesting changes with the design. And you can also see where Bandai's kind of gotten lazy over the years as far as paint job goes. I mean, yeah, this isn't accurate, but at least there's some color going on here, whereas as this just kind of looks like this Godzilla is, well, ripping the shreds, or, you know, literally looks like some kid took a Crayola marker and just colored over it. And that's about it for size comparisons. If I had to rate this figure, I'd... Wait. You're expecting someone, aren't you? Yeah, you're expecting that wall-crawling menace to jump into this review. Well, I've got a little news for you. He's on a one-way trip to nowhere. Because you may be wondering why you haven't seen him in these past few videos. Well, it's a funny story, actually. This Spider-Man toy, for those of you who know who I am, I'm Gojira 2012, but you can find me on YouTube and Facebook. This figure has been causing me so much torment, and it's about time I got my comeuppance. This is quite the fall, but thankfully it's the perfect punishment. Any last words? Punch me, I bleed. No help for you, buddy.
Look at that, someone.
Sayonara, Spider-Man. But yeah, if I had to rate this figure, I'd rate it a 3 out of 5. Now, I know what you're thinking. A 3 out of 5, that's a little harsh. But the way I see it, it doesn't have as much detail as I'd like. The paint job's kind of piss poor. Oh, no. I gotta censor it. I'm sorry. But yeah, the paint job could be better, as well as the detail, but for 20 bucks, I'd say it's okay. If you really want a Shin Godzilla figure now, then I'd say go for it. If not, just wait for the Monster Arts or the NECA. This is Gojira 2012, saying farewell for now.